So these are questions 15, 19 and 25. What you've got to do with this first one, 15, is you multiply the top and the bottom by whatever's on the bottom. So we're just going to multiply it by root 6. That will get us 5, because 5 times root 2 times root 6 is just the 5 part. Then you're doing root 2 times root 6, which is root 12, because you should have 2 times the 6, over root of 6 times 6 gets us 36. And then we can talk about where it goes to next. So next, on top, we've got 5. And then here, we can split the root 12 down into, think of it as a square number. What square number goes into 12? Well, it's 4. So it's root 4 times root 3. So that still just means all times in them. And then root 36 becomes 6. And then we can just double check the top there. 5 times root 4, that becomes 2. So 5 times 2 is 10. And you've got your root 3. And then you put it over 6. Now we can cancel 10 out of 6 down. We can half both of them. And it's 5 root 3 over 3. Now the next one is rationalising the denominator, is getting rid of this, and we're multiplying it by the inverse of this as we did in lesson. Instead of being a plus, we're going to change it to a minus. So we're going to times it by 5 minus root 2. I'm just going to put a bracket around that to help me, because that'll help me with that bracket if I put a bracket around both of them. Now I've got to do whatever I do to the bottom, I've got to do to the top. So that will get me, again, I'm just timesing straight across. So that's just going to get me 5 minus root 2 on the top. If I multiply at the bottom, I get 5 times 5, which is 25. I've got root 2 times 5, which is plus 5 root 2. Then I've got 5 times minus root 2, so that's minus 5 root 2. And then the last bit is root 2 times negative root 2, so that's going to be minus root 4. And minus in root 4 is the same as square root of 4 is 2, so it's minus 2. The middle bit there cancel out. And then I'm left with just this on top, 5 minus root 2 on top, all over 25 minus 2 gives me 23. Our number on the bottom is now an ordinary number, so we've rationalised that denominator. Similar with this one, we're just dealing with the bottom, so we're going to times it by the changing that to a minus, because that then eradicates the middle part, it simplifies it. And it's called the difference of two squares, so if you need to look that up on Maths Genie, please do. And then again, whatever I do to the bottom I must do to the top, otherwise I change the number, and remember this is an equivalence. So if we multiply this out, again I'm putting a bracket around to help me remember to multiply in out of brackets. 3 times 7 gives me 21. 3 times negative root 3, that's minus 3 root 3. Then I'm doing root 3 times 7, so that's plus 7 root 3. Then I'm doing root 3 times negative root 3, which is negative root 9, but I know the square root of 9 is 3, so I can put that on there. We'll simplify this in a second. Then the bottom, 7 times 7 is 49. And then you've got plus 7 root 3, minus 7 root 3. And then again, when I do plus root 9 times negative root, plus root 3 times negative root 3, it cancels down to get negative square root of 9. The square root of 9 is 3, so it's minus 3. Now, the middle bit there cancels out, which is why we've done that, because it gets rid of that square root on the bottom. And then we gather our like terms. 21 minus 3 is 18. And then minus 3 root 3 plus 7 root 3 is 4 root 3. We just treat it like algebra. Minus 3a plus 7a gives me 4a. A just happens to be a root 3. So it ends up being plus 4 root 3. And then all over 49 minus 3 gives me 46. Now, with this one, because we've got 18, 4 and 46, we can take out a factor of 2 from the top and 2 from the bottom. So if we have it as 2 bracket 9 plus 2 root 3 over 46, we can then cancel this down. So we end up with 9 plus 2 root 3 over 23. So again, we can still put our cancelling down provided. Now, there's no other number that goes into 2 root 3 and 9 to be able to cancel down any further. So I hope this helps. The last thing I would say is you can check all your answers. It's what I said in class today. You've got a calculator. So if we do use it. So 5 square root 2, press down, root 6. You press equals, and it comes up with it is a rationalised denominator. So it's important you remember the method, but you can see exactly where it comes from. And that allows you then to check all the other answers. So it's pressing that fraction button, 1 over 5 plus root 2, press equals, and it does it for you. So you can see exactly what's occurred, and you can see that your answer is correct. And the same with the last one. If I type in fraction button, 3 plus root 3, press down, 7 plus square root of 3, press equals, and it comes up again, 9 plus 2 root 3 over 23, which is the same as that. So use your calculator, it does help.